Hey friends, it's Dimitri with Nebraska Streetwear. So today I wanted to talk about accessories and kind of my philosophy and what has worked for me over the years from my own experience. So this information might not be relevant to you depending how your store is set up or what kind of sales metrics you have. But for me personally and for my store, what typically happens is I usually have a good number of accessories on the website, but those items do not cycle through inventory as quickly as items like t-shirts and hoodies. Most customers that go to my store, they're gonna buy one t-shirt, they're gonna buy two t-shirts, a hoodie, stuff like that. And then occasionally you're gonna have people that have larger orders and they will add accessories such as a bag, pins, a keychain, socks, stuff, that kind of stuff. And you also do have those customers that they might not be able to afford a t-shirt or a hoodie at the time, but they still want to be a part of the brand and have something cool, so they just buy an accessory. But in general, for me, the accessories do not cycle through the inventory schedule as fast. So the way I reorder stuff is kind of different than how I would do it with t-shirts if I was gonna reorder t-shirts or hoodies. So I'll give you a perfect example. Here's a pair of socks that I've had on my website for a while, and we had lots of them. We would sell, dozens of these a month, and the stock got to pretty low levels. Now, with keeping track of inventory and stock, there's a really good system that you might want to do. And I made videos about this. You might use, I brought a card, for example, the Kanban system. So you have a card that triggers it like when the stock is getting low, and that way you know to reorder it. Now I use Kanban cards for all of the stuff I need, like office supplies, that kind of stuff. So everything has a reorder schedule and all my stuff gets in on time and I'm not, looking for anything. But for clothing and the way my store is set up and all that kind of stuff, I do not use Kanban cards because a lot of stuff is more limited and I will just move on to making new stuff. I don't necessarily have a trigger point where I'm like, okay, I have to go reorder this t-shirt, right? Because I'm always constantly making new designs and it's a little bit more fluid. But with accessories, I do have a rough kind of timeline as to when I need to reorder stuff. So for example, this box of socks, it got pretty low. It got to about half a box. If I have about half a box or a box left of a certain item, I will go and get that manufacturing process started to go make a new product. Now I won't reorder the same kind of socks, right? Because like I said, I want stuff to be more limited and I want stuff to be fresh, new designs. But at the same time, I do want to have a pair of socks for sale on my website, right? I don't want these socks to just sell out and then the store is empty for a month, 2 months, 3 months, and there's no new pair of socks. I want to order socks at the appropriate time so that these are already cycling through and then there's a fresh new pair of socks for customers to buy, right? And even though socks sell slower, I still want that to be an option on the website. And recently, here's some new socks we got, white ones and black ones, and this is like a new design and also a new color. I didn't have black socks before, so we're gonna see how that goes. But that's typically what I will do with accessories. I wait until it's the lowest possible stock that I can swing, but I don't want it to be that there's no socks on the website for a significant amount of time, right? Here's another example. So there is one box of these crossbody bags left. Now this is an item with many items kind of like this, backpacks, bags. You're not really gonna have a customer, let's say you have a repeat customer and they're gonna constantly be buying bags every month, right? This is an item that you would buy maybe, once every few years if you need a bag, if you're a customer, especially if you're repeat customers. Repeat customers are just not going to be buying tons of these stuff unless they're just really into bags or something like that. Repeat customers will typically be buying lots of t-shirts and hoodies because each new season they want a new design, they like this specific design, maybe they grew out of some clothes and they want larger sizes. So those kinds of items, that's why they sell so fast. It's because those are staple items in a person's wardrobe, where this is not. This is an accessory. So like I said in the beginning, stuff like this cycles through a little bit slower for me, particularly as a store. So I got down to about a box left of that inventory, and there's probably, I don't know, 20 bags left in there, maybe less. So I already reordered a new style of bag that's coming in, and they're making them right now. So by the time I get them in, that box is going to be, there's going to be even less inventory of there, but I'm still always going to have a bag or two. And by two, I mean the leftover stock of that on my web store so people can buy a bag. I don't want to have my web store empty and there's not a bag there that someone can buy, right? Additionally though, with stuff like this, you also don't want too many bags or too many socks or too many accessories, right? The reason why is because the customer can kind of get suffocated with decision making, right? And there's kind of a fine balance when it comes to this on any web store. You want the customer to have a variety, but not too much of a variety so that they don't get overwhelmed with decision making. That's actually a thing. People can look at a website and there's so many things, they get overwhelmed and they don't purchase something. And I think with accessories, this is definitely an area where you don't want to have like 50 keychains or something like that if that's not a main staple of your store. Now with t-shirts and hoodies and those kinds of stuff, those staple items, those items you can have more because typically, you know, a lot of people, they might buy like, you know, 5 t-shirts. Like let's say the summer starts and it's kind of like t-shirt season. A lot of people, they will go and buy way more t-shirts, different styles. A lot of people like different styles. Having just like 1 or 2 styles of a t-shirt, that's really not enough for a customer to make a decision. Maybe they want something totally different, right? You have to have kind of a variety of that. Whereas with accessories, you probably want to have less. So that is kind of how my store has been working with that over the years. It's been 6 years, and that's what I've learned. And I think maybe that kind of information would be valuable to you guys to know how stuff like that cycles through. Maybe for your store, you might cycle through accessories way faster, you know? So it really depends on how your store is running and what you want to do. But that's typically how I do restocks. I want to restock items, but without actually restocking the same item, like with the socks, right? Here's the item. I want to restock socks because they're running low, but I'm going to make a new design because it's a new season, it's a new year, and I'm still going to have socks for sale once these run out. I'm not going to be having the web store empty for months without that item for customers to choose. So anyways, that's how I restock items without actually restocking them. If you guys have any comments or questions, you can leave them down in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys later.